Hey guys, Sarah here from The Glitter Guy, and today we are going to craft stuff. Me and Jason had briefly watched this video where this woman put some paints on a cup. I think she called it the Squeegee method. I only watched the video once and it was a few weeks ago, so we're gonna go super by memory. I'm gonna make sure that the original video that I saw is linked down below so you guys can see what she did that inspired what we're gonna do here. So I got all of my apple barrel paints out. That's the brand we're using today, but you can pretty sure you can use any acrylic paints. And I'm just going to do some little droplets, turn my machine on, and see what happens with this squeegee. I picked out what I think might make a cute little rainbow, but we'll see what happens for real. Probably should have watched the video more than once, or at least more recent, but I think this will be more fun. I also have no idea how much to use. I will also point out that this is pretty liquidy, and the paints that the woman used were more of the canvas art paints. The brand name's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. I like pink, so we'll do a little extra pink. This is probably not too much, but whatever. Whatever it comes out as, I'm still going to epoxy this whole cup because that's what happened in the video, and I think that it'll come out really cool anyway. So let's see what happens. I'm like afraid to put it on there. I don't remember how she placed it down, so here we go. Definitely don't think I used enough paints. It didn't go around. I don't think I started at the right spot. I think this is where it's gonna get good. I wonder if I add that. Definitely missing something here. This time I'm trying to press a little harder this time around and see if that does anything. It is coming out pretty cool anyway. And I know I'm not holding my squeegee right, but for some reason this is the way my hands wanted to hold it. I didn't want to lift it off because I know it makes like a little bit of a mark, but it didn't make that bad of a mark. I'm going to see if I change direction if that does anything. Does mine change direction? No, but it's okay. We're going to turn the whole thing around. How about that? Without getting it in my hair. You get off of there. Oh, I see it now. My squeegee goes on a bend. That's why it's missing. Okay, well, I can work with that. So I do need to probably apply a little bit more pressure because there's like a gap. There we go, that's closing the gap. Now we're moving. Going a little too hard because I'm scraping my paint off, but there's definitely a flow about it. Practice makes perfect. These are things that you don't look for when you're on Amazon looking for a squeegee. Makes for a cool squeegee though. I'd say that it worked a little bit. This is definitely not the technique that she used, but we're gonna figure out how to get the rest of this cup painted. Ah! That was not part of it. There sure was a bit bended. Sure, there's some kind of reason why there's a bend. It actually kind of looks a little bit more straight until it snaps off and I punch myself in the head. All right, let's see if I did anything at all. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Barely applying pressure because I don't want to take the paint off. I can see on the inside here, it's like grouping some of the paint from the extras. So when I get around here where I was gonna squirt some more paint, I don't think I actually had to because it'll finally cover itself. Oh man, it's working, it's working, it's working. Cool. All right, so it was the bend. It was the bend in my squeegee that did me dirty. I don't think it looks terrible for what it is. So, oh, nope, messed it up. Get back in there. I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna call it doo-doo-dooting my spots. Just tap, tap, tap. Just to cover it with some paint. And I'm curious if the movement of this turner will change that later on. Like if the paint will start moving ever so slightly the way it would if it was with epoxy. I just doo-doo-dooted that too hard. I love the way these came out. Nothing but the squeegee. Nothing but the squeegee. A lot of learning curves here, but it's fun. There's like a lot of extra paint on my squeegee, and I had no idea what I was gonna do for the bottom anyway. I wonder if I could just like squeegee it off of the bottom without messing up the cup. Haha, the tap tap doot doot method's working! Doot 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 doot. I hope everyone adopts the doot doot method into their life because it really does work. And I don't know if it just happens to be the colors that I picked, but the colors that they're making when they mix are not horrible, which is not something I took into consideration before I made this. Now I'm just obsessed with getting all the little, because I'm almost there. Well guys, I made quite the mess, but I also made I think it's gonna come out to be a really cool cup. I am not completely sure what acrylic paint does while it's spinning. It does appear to be moving a little bit, and I'm kind of hoping that it keeps moving a little bit because I'm going to keep this cup spinning. In the video that I watched, she had done another cup that was all black, and I had one here ready for you guys, but I think instead I want to do a second video a few weeks later after this, and I want to get a better squeegee. I want to get a smaller one and see if that does anything different, and try it on the black cup with some different kinds of paints on that one and see what comes up. And also see what I do with this one, see how I do another one with the white cup in a smaller squeegee and see if that helps me. Also one that doesn't have a bend, now that I know what to look for. But I really hope that these paints just keep mixing, because if this was epoxy, and I spun it like this with inks or paints in it, that would have swirled itself into a whole different thing, which doesn't look like it's going to swirl at first, but you leave that cup alone for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and the whole cup is a different cup once the colors start mixing together, because it's happening so slow you can't really see it that much as it's happening. Also, when you're near it, like I am right now, you just want to keep touching it, and I really don't want to touch it anymore, because I like everything that's happening in the different spots that it's doing it, and I don't want to change it because I'm afraid I'm not going to like it. Well guys, I'm going to make sure that everything that I used is listed down below. The squeegee came from Amazon too, but I'm not going to tell you to get the same squeegee I did or you're going to have the same problems I did. I will tell you to make sure you look for one that's completely flat, and I'm not even sure if that was anything in the description of this squeegee. I wish the squeegee kind of would stay like that too. I hope that you guys really enjoyed my video. If you have, please like and subscribe if you have not already, so you guys can see all the videos that we put out after this, especially just the squeegee part 2 and the little doot doot doots that we'll do on the next one. And I can't wait to show you guys how this turned out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it decal wise or something, but I think once it's dry and epoxied, I will know. And I'm hoping it already looks, oh yeah, it's already doing it. So when I doot doot dooted at the bottom here, it almost reminded me of like frosting, whatever you call the frosting tips on a cupcake. But they're already flattening, and I was afraid they weren't going to flatten, so I have high hopes that these paints are moving and we're just not seeing it and the whole cup will flatten, because it's definitely raised in different spots. But also when I epoxy that probably more than once, it will also take care of that and then give me a final flat coat. So I hope you guys try this at home. Again, I will link the original video that we were inspired by below so you can see where we got that inspiration from. I hope you guys have a great day.